Hey, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Jordan.
We want to welcome you to the Sustain Me podcast, where we teach others how to live a healthy life by breaking down the basics of health through the Sustain Me principle.
And we want to show you that true health is attainable, affordable, and achievable.
In every episode, we will discuss topics breaking down the Sustain Me principle.
So sit back, relax, or sit up and take notes for
the Sustain Me podcast. Woo!
Hello, hello. We're here again.
Hi.
Are you tired of us yet? Just kidding.
This is Hannah.
Oh, and this is Jordan. So sorry. Yeah, we did not introduce ourselves. My apologies.
No, that's okay.
So last week, well, the last 2 weeks, we have been talking about trusting in God. Mm-hmm. We have talked about a lot of elements to that. So I'll say my little spiel at the beginning every single time. If you have not watched all the others, you can go back and start with Sunshine, or even our intro if you want to.
Yeah.
And just go on board with us. We're going through this Sustain Me principle, and it has been very fun. I've loved it.
It has. We're over halfway now, kind of.
Oh, we are over. Technically, now
yeah.
We are.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very sad.
Especially for our very committed people.
Yes.
I know, we're coming to an end, but season 2 will be fun.
Yes. And we'll probably do some Q&As and fun stuff like that. So.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fun.
So get questions ready.
So trusting in God was massive.
Yeah.
Of just like personal, all the things. And I love that we did it in 2 parts. We'd love feedback from y'all if you guys liked that it was in 2 parts, because we felt like it was just a lot of information.
It was. Yeah, it would have been too much for everyone's brains if we smush that down in one.
I think that it was, because at first we didn't think that we would separate it. I don't think that we even thought that until we started doing like the notes and stuff, and we're like, there's
a lot here. It's a lot.
This could be a really huge impact, but also a huge like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Which it was, I mean, that was that way for me. This week was a little bit rough, honestly, because even though we were talking about it and we're telling you guys like our own testimony, I think after like sharing a lot of that and going through a lot of it on our, like, I don't know, you can say how you felt about all of it, but I was just going to say from the jump, I'm like, man, I was thinking the other day, this week was kind of a little bit of a blah for me. Like I had no energy.
Yes.
At all. And I think that I was just, and not like in a bad way, I think I was just kind of like sitting in a lot of the stuff that we...
Yeah, and it's even like whenever you share things like that, it is like draining, right? Because you're sharing this and it's great because it helps people, right? But it's sharing a part of yourself, and it is a little, it really is.
And I've realized for an empathic type person, I've kind of been reading a lot more about that and kind of connecting it biblically. But it is a very draining thing for an empath to be very vulnerable.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I didn't actually know why I always felt so just like exhausted whenever I don't know, just in general, like this has happened to me multiple times. Whenever I'm in a place where I'm vulnerable and I share personal things about myself and things that I have to actually work on, and I realize I'm like, oh, I need to do this better. I've been reading my Bible a lot more intently. That's the other thing that's been a positive, like me going back to these verses that we have been talking about. It's almost like I think I reread Proverbs 1-7 like 3 times this past week and a half. And I have gotten so many amazing things from it, where I have grown up reading Proverbs my whole entire life. It's my favorite book. But the things that the Lord revealed to me from Proverbs has been kind of like, I need to take a minute. Normally, I'm able to like read through that whole entire book and be like, this was good. This was great. Jesus, you
so
rock.
Good. Wisdom, y'all.
But this time I'm like, I need to go back. I need to go back.
Yeah.
This is so good. The thing about wisdom and like, I don't know. I'm just kind of like in a stage of I want to go back and I want to marinate in this a little bit.
Yes.
And nothing else matters. Just this.
Well, and that's what I love like about what we are doing, because I have seen a lot of health podcasts where people come because they are the professionals and they have done it all right. So now they will share with you how they have done it all right. Well, we're here to tell you No.
No.
Just no, because
we're with you.
We're so with you. And honestly, I do everything wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, we are working towards this with you. It's a journey together. So whenever we're open and vulnerable, even when we're reviewing the week before, we're telling you we're working through this with you. And so we have seen some improvements here, but it's also been hard in certain areas too, you know? So I think that makes our podcast super relatable and really like authentic, transparent.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I was thinking it on the way here because I knew you're going to. That's the first part we do in the, like, how, so what's the,
what if I don't have a, what if I don't know?
I was thinking about that. I was like, what am I going to say? Because I kind of feel like I didn't do a whole lot, but at the same time, I was like, I did feel different because I was kind of choosing to, no, I won't take that back. I wasn't really choosing to rest. Like, my body literally didn't want to do anything after we got back from Disney. So and that was a big thing because normal Hannah would have definitely been like, no, we need to save money. We're not going to go to Disney to take my child his 7th birthday. And we took him for this like last minute trip, and a lot of things just lined up for us to do it. And normally something that big, and I'm also still in my first trimester of being pregnant, and my health has been a little bit like iffy, especially with traveling, and driving has been kind of a nightmare. But I kind of swallowed it, and I was like, you know what? We're going to do this. It's not like he turns 7 all the time, and this is kind of cool.
Hopefully. That's another 7. Another one.
Next year he's turning 7 again, so.
Crazy. I know that happens when you hit 29, but
I know.
Not till then.
Not yet, but he had actually requested it, and it's like we have talked about taking our kids on a mom and dad only trip for their birthdays at a certain age. And honestly, I told them, like, oh gosh, we're already here. We already have children old enough to be like, I want to go to Disneyland. Thank you. It's like, oh, you even know what that is, okay?
Oh my gosh.
So I feel like I rested in that as far as actually taking the leap to do that, and then it kind of forced me after we got home where I was like, I will do nothing. And then we also got snowed in, so
100%, actually. But the thing with being snowed in is it's not silent, because if you are a parent that has kids in public school, they are home. So that's kind of a thing with me. I've been challenged because in my head, I always think my quiet time with the Lord has to happen in the morning when I first wake up, because that is when my children are asleep. That's even when Aubrey is either at the gym or sleeping as well. And I'm like, it's just quiet and I cannot be distracted because I get very distracted. And I had a couple days this past week of that, but not a lot. Okay. And so I think the Lord is showing me I can still have a quietness to me and to my life, even if I'm changing poopy diapers, even if my kid's screaming that they need a 500th snack, or, you know, and things like that. So it's even for me just trying to find that balance of what that can even look like, because I have in my head what it looks like, but is that what it needs to look like? Or is there a certain kind of setting that I need in my heart and in my spirit to be able to trust God, even if actual silent time doesn't get to happen, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just learning about that.
It would, in a perfect world, it would be so nice if when we talk about certain things that we could go into the next week and be like, see, just it happened, just perfect. It's almost like
You
God
did it
does
so right.
It's almost like God does this on purpose to us. Like, I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if you've noticed this, but every time that we've talked about something where we have like a challenge, we go into some of the most challenging weeks right after that.
Yeah. So we should stop. Just kidding.
No more challenges, guys, because we are getting put through the ringer.
Growth is uncomfortable. That's what it's meant to be.
Yes. So
yeah, going to our next growth point, the A.
The A.
And A means abstain. So this is a little different one, you know?
Because most people might not even know, like, what is that? Well,
yeah, what is that?
Americans, we don't abstain. We are in a world of, like, you get what you want when you want
it. Splurge. Do whatever you want.
I want it now.
That's right.
And I only live once. Isn't that the saying?
YOLO. Yeah,
we're about to crush that.
I'm gonna
real quick. Not just for you, but for us.
Good. Like a little bug. Anyways, okay, abstain.
What does it mean, Jordan?
Well, it means restrain oneself from doing something. Just stop. So I'm going to read a little scripture here. One scripture, 1 Corinthians 10:23. It says, I have the right to do anything. but not everything is beneficial. So I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. So at this point, it's, we're going to tell you guys when we go through this information, just let that sit with you, because there are certain things you can do. Of course, we can do whatever, right? Yeah. But there's certain things that are just honestly detrimental to our health, even our holistic health. Okay. Yeah. So, and that's a little bit of what we're going to dive into, the main things that we should be abstaining from, honestly, for our optimal health.
And long term, too.
Exactly, yeah. Not something we'll regret in our 50s, 60s, 70s.
I have a hard time of thinking I'm fine right now, and I don't think about I might not be fine later.
Yeah.
It's good to live in the moment. It really is. Mm-hmm. But.
Yeah. There's a healthy balance to that.
Bad habits will catch up to you real quick.
No, never. Yes, they will.
So what are the benefits of abstaining, and what does that look like in our health life?
Yeah, because what's interesting about the benefits of these is that this is what won't happen to you if you abstain from them. Okay. So it's a little twisted right there.
Yeah.
The first thing we'll dive into is alcohol. Okay. Mm-hmm. Why should we abstain from alcohol? So these are a few things that can happen if you are drinking alcohol on a regular basis. You can have some organ damage, mainly the heart, the liver, the brain, and the stomach. Mm-hmm. And then increased risk of cancer. And that's liver, breast, throat, stomach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's scary, And of course, with this, we're not doing this to scare you. You almost need all the facts to be able to make a decision for yourself, for your family, for your future, right?
Yeah.
For what you need to abstain from. So, next one, high blood pressure. This can increase the risk of a heart attack or even stroke. Okay. A weakened immune system. So your body's working through processing through that alcohol. So the immune system is just at an all-time low because it's working through filtering through all the alcohol that's been consumed. And that can make you more susceptible. More susceptible. Oh.
You sound like Hannah.
Oh my God. Just more likely to have disease. Susceptible.
There we go.
I just want to get the word right so bad. But it's not meant to be today.
Oh, this is a doozy, though. Mental health conditions.
Oh, and a lot of people drink alcohol to help with it, right? But it actually, no.
Because what happens whenever someone realizes they might be in an addiction cycle with alcohol, because they get to where they're like, I can't go a day without drinking a glass of wine.
Yep.
I can't go a day without drinking a whole pack of beer. What happens whenever you start abstaining, when you start trying to become sober? Your mental health goes down the drain. Like, lots of people experience just massive, what's the word? Withdrawals.
Oh, yeah, withdrawal, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's a mental thing, because it actually, it's freezing, like, your brain.
And what's crazy is one of the main organs that it can harm is your brain, because it's altering your brain chemistry. And that's how, drunkenness and all these things happen, right? It makes you feel good in the moment.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you feel even more empty.
Yeah, because your brain, after you get done with it, your brain's like, I don't know what to do now.
Now I have to have more. Yeah.
It's like going on a roller coaster ride. It's like, I'm shooken up. I don't know what's happening. What is life?
Yeah.
And so that's why when people kind of just get in the habit of, like, I'm just going to keep drinking more. Like, that's why it becomes a vicious cycle. That's why it becomes an addiction to not feeling good.
Exactly. And whenever we talk about alcohol stuff, whenever I looked up drugs, it's very similar. Very, very similar. And there's a reason why they call it drug abuse, alcohol abuse. These things are abusing you. Okay. So you can think of it as, I'm abusing drugs. What? Drugs don't care. Take them, whatever. But the drugs and the alcohol is abusing you, and it's stopping you from living a life, a full, healthy life for your children, for your grandchildren, for your spouse, for your loved ones, you know?
For everybody.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Next one.
You said, oh God.
Woo. It's a lot.
This is so intense. It's just blowing.
I know. This is just the first one.
Get them, Hannah. What's the next one?
Learning problems, memory problems. It's just like comes with the whole mental. It's such a vicious cycle. Alcohol can cause memory problems, including dementia. I will say,
that's scary.
That is definitely, if my husband was here today,
Oh, yeah.
He spent, that's kind of a part of his testimony, 10 years of doing very hard drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
And that is one thing he really struggles with right now, is the memory loss.
And what stinks is Thad is living a healthy life and but it's still kind of an aftermath which, you know, our organs are made to improve, right?
Yes.
So with supplementation, but it's still something he's working towards
he's like
optimal.
But since he spent 10 years completely destroying everything, it's taking like 3 times as long to get it back to where it's functioning. Like we've been together for 8 years, and this past year or 2 will probably be probably his healthiest he's been.
Definitely.
Where he doesn't have his like little spells of massive mental health issues where he literally just kind of like forgets things, or because it scares him, honestly, since he's now cognitive. Yeah. And he also has faith as well. It scares him when he gets to a place of like, I cannot remember, you know? And that's kind of what a healthy lifestyle like this, doing the Sustain protocol, when we started doing the stuff with Barbara O'Neill, that he was someone who was affected highly from this, of just like a routine of wellness in every aspect of his life.
I need to give Thad props. Guys, I didn't know who Barbara O'Neill was, okay, until Thad found the workshop retreat that we went through, guys. Yeah. Thad, thank you.
He's actually the reason we are here today telling you about this. He told us that we should go because he couldn't.
Thad.
Yeah.
Man, props.
I forgot about that.
Kudos, Thad.
Good job, babe.
I just love saying your name for some reason.
We're not saying Dad. We're saying Thad, by the way.
Thad. That was weird. I won't say that anymore. Okay.
Thaddeus. Thad. Yeah.
Oh, the last one. Last one. Okay. It's interesting.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a very known one that people like to ignore.
Weight gain. Alcohol weight gain. Because alcohol, this is interesting, contains calories, and mixed drinks can have a whole lot of sugars, okay? So even if you're just alcohol in general, you can think like beer has so many carbs, right? Even wine has excess sugars, refined sugars, you know, and things like that. So weight gain.
And it's in a certain area.
The old gut.
And what do we call it? The good old beer gut?
That's right. I said, that's right. I don't know why I think they all have country accents. Might not.
Most people who drink beer, yeah. It's a country thing.
An old brewski. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, the next thing we're going to abstain from.
This is a hard one for us.
I just need the dramatic effect. Oh, it's caffeine.
Oh man, you guys knew that this was coming. You know we love it.
I could have left this out of our notes.
We could, yeah, but that wouldn't.
We're gonna be transparent.
Oh gosh, dang it. Caffeine. Yes, we love coffee, and yes, we got schooled by Barbara herself when she kept telling us how bad.
She didn't have to be so rude about it. That's my personal opinion.
I did feel called out a little bit with my cup of coffee sitting right there.
We literally left the break to go get coffee, came back, we're like, we love Starbucks. She's like, caffeine is bad for you. And we're like...
It was so hard for us to get coffee after that.
But did we?
We still did. That's why in the next few episodes, when we talk about moderation, that's our favorite one.
Praise God. There's hope.
Okay, so the thing that is nice about caffeine is that it's not just coffee. I will say people who drink soda actually...
Yes, girl.
Are way more addicted than people who just drink coffee. I will say that because coffee, especially for us, I'm not speaking for everyone, it's more of like a morning thing. Or, I mean, there are some people who would like an IV of it. I do know that. But for us, it's more of a nostalgia. Like, it's a part of our routine.
We go on a coffee date.
Yes.
That's what, that's a hobby. Aubrey's always like, so your hobby's just drinking a fluid? I was like, that's one of them. That is what it is.
When you say coffee dates with your girlfriends, it's like, it's a date and it's with coffee, but it's with your friend. It really is not really about the coffee.
Honestly, this is out of health. It's good for the soul.
Yes, it's for the soul. It's for the mind. It gets us happy immediately when we text each other like, when are we doing our next coffee date? We immediately get so excited.
I giggle at my phone when Hannah texts me that.
Or Marco Polo, now we see each other's faces like, oh,
yes. Oh, wow. Okay, yes. So now we have to talk about the bad stuff.
Okay, so this is not just coffee. It's soda as well.
It's other things.
Yeah, because it's very easy to drink.
Energy drinks.
And energy drinks is so
Sorry,
bad.
I just forgot about those guys. Whew.
Because when you mix caffeine with sugar, it makes it 10 times worse. And a lot of people who drink coffee on like daily, it's normally not with a whole lot of sugar in it.
Mm-hmm.
You have your black coffee, which she even said, if it's just a black coffee and if you tend to do more organic.
Yeah, and if you're drinking enough water, you know, all these
to combat it, the moderation there is nice. But what does caffeine, though, do to you? And why would it be good to abstain if you're dealing with some of these issues? Number one, anxiety.
Yeah. I'm getting it right now. I'm just kidding.
Thinking about not drinking it. So anxiety can come from high amounts of caffeine, and they can increase the amount of anxiety whenever you abuse the amount of caffeine you're consuming.
That's true. Abuse. Mm-hmm. That's right, Hannah. And another thing, a lot of caffeine, it can leach magnesium from the body.
Oh, gosh. This is a big one that...
It is. It is. Because magnesium is so important. I mean, I'm going to list a few benefits of magnesium because we just love putting it on our feet before bed. And I have magnesium chews for the morning time because I also have my coffee in the mornings. You see balance. Yes. But anyways, things that magnesium helps. It helps with our heart health. Mm-hmm. It helps with our brain health. It helps promote bone health. It's a stress reliever. It's digestive support. Helps you with better sleep and mood. So caffeine leaching that from your body, all those good things, that does stink.
So up your magnesium.
That's right. I like that.
If you want to enjoy and have if you want to start abstaining from your cup of coffee, you know, try to make sure if you do like what Jordan said, you know, rub your magnesium lotion on your feet and, you know, your joints. Make sure you get absorbable magnesium.
For sure.
That kind of.
And the reason why bottoms of the feet, those are where your biggest pores are, which is interesting. So just keep that in mind too if you walk on weird things.
And also another thing, what are you walking on, Jordan?
Like chemicals? Like if there's a chemical spill, don't walk on it barefoot.
Like if your grass just got sprayed.
There you go. That's more realistic. That's what actually happens to humans. Okay.
Then just I was like, I don't know where to go from
You were really trying to go through it with me, though, and I appreciate that. That's what true friends are for.
I'm so sorry. Yes. I was trying to come up with
chemical spills. I think that just happens in the ocean, but...
If your child has a massive poopy diaper on the floor, don't walk to it.
Don't walk on it. You're right, Hannah. Okay, all right. So what else does caffeine do?
Does not affect your blood pressure well.
It does not.
Caffeine can cause health complications for people with underlying health issues like high blood pressure and inadequate heart health, just in general. I mean, if you are in a place where you are dealing with caffeine would probably be something you would want to abstain from.
Yeah.
From a while. Like, even if you didn't do anything else, I would suggest to eliminate it if you can. And thankfully, in this day and age, we have a lot of things that you can do instead. If you really like that cup of coffee in the morning, there's things called mud water and mushroom coffee. And I know
that sounds gross.
It sounds horrible.
It can be good.
But hit us up because we know some brands that are actually good where you can't even tell that it's not coffee. You do. I mean, it isn't coffee. But
it's true.
If you are doing this for your health and you're doing this for a long-term issue and you want to get down to it, like literally if you were given a graph of to get better in this issue, I can stop drinking coffee or I can take this massive list of a bunch of prescriptions and medicine. Like, which one do you want to choose?
I'm just kidding. Jordan, I'm just kidding, guys. It was a jokey joke.
Well, I thought that analogy would work, but...
It does. It works.
I mean, if you think about it.
I am, and it works, Hannah. Thank you. That was a good analogy. My apologies. I'm getting a little feisty. We're almost done with caffeine, but there are a few more bad things.
Yes, dehydration is a big one. I definitely experienced this one. That is where I know I am dehydrated when I know I'm like, I have only drank coffee today and I am Shakes McGee over here. It's just, it dehydrates you more than hydrates you. So that is where we did talk about hydration in one of the episodes. I think it was number 2. If you do drink caffeine of any kind, you need to double the water.
Yeah, to make up for
what you just dehydrated your body
that
with.
dehydration.
That's why you have cramps, and that's why it's not something you want to drink when you're outside doing a lot of
for sure
strenuous things. You want to,
and when you think about it too, if you're working really hard, you really only want water.
Yeah,
it's because your body's like, please hydrate me. So you've never been outside doing like work, and you're like, you know what, I need a good old cup of Joe. You know what I mean? So just follow what your body says most of the time. But another thing caffeine does not help with is obviously sleep problems. I mean,
oh yes,
you have some sleep
definitely
stuff.
Skipped over that. Sorry. Oh, it does. Well, what's funny though is maybe I'm just whacked out because I sleep so much better when I drink a cup of coffee before I go to bed.
Oh my gosh.
What is wrong? What does that say about me?
Well, we'll talk about this after the episode airs.
But I guess quality of sleep. Would that be?
Yes, exactly. I think that's a really good, because you can sleep, but are you hitting the REM cycle? Are you going through all the,
because I do experience a lot of cramps.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
good, Hannah.
That's a good one.
That's good.
All right. It doesn't help with muscle breakdown. So explain that, Jordan.
So excessive caffeine intake, it has been linked to a serious condition which damages muscle fibers. Okay. So if you are wanting to build muscle, which building muscle is actually super important. I mean, that's something that you'll think when you're an elderly person. If you've been working on building muscle, you'll be less falling and breaking your hip. You'll be less hurting yourself. It's just, it's important to do that.
Okay.
And then the last one, pregnancy with caffeine, which we know, like, you always hear that. You lower your caffeine intake with pregnancy, but it's interesting because it says research shows that both parents, if they consume more than 2 caffeinated drinks a day in the weeks before they conceive, a loss of pregnancy may be more likely. So could be not, but when both together, it's more obviously caffeine in there.
Yeah, true. That's definitely a thing. Refined sugar.
Oh, yeah, the refined sugar.
I feel like that one should have been first. If I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because
it's in everything.
It literally is. It's the white sugar. It's the corn syrup. It's the fructose. It's the sucrose. Whatever the dang os.
Yes. If you were gonna abstain from anything, to be honest, like I would definitely start with sugar.
Yep.
Because it's in absolutely everything. Like start reading labels. That should be a first step with abstaining. Is start reading your labels of everything.
Yeah.
And if the first thing on it says sugar, like you would be surprised. We did a sugar day detox for 100-day sugar detox, sorry. And the amount of things that we literally couldn't eat or consume because it had sugar in it.
And it's stuff you would think didn't. That's what's crazy.
Insane. Popcorn.
Those little dummies.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding. It's
like,
insane. So main sugar we're talking about is like refined sugar is your high fructose corn syrup. It's not even sugar. It's like
so bad.
Sugary sugar. It's been literally like chemicalized where it's even worse than regular sugar. It's awful.
It's
bad. And then what is it?
Like just the bleached white sugar.
Yeah.
All of that. And then if you look at stuff that's healthier, right? But make sure you're looking, because the sugars that are like better, coconut sugar.
That's your actual sugar-free
monk
sugars.
Fruit sweeten, stevia. Those are better than, aspartame.
Look for natural sweetened things like stevia, maple sugar, maple syrup.
Oh, yes, honey.
Honey. Like when you get used to that, you actually are not wanting the other things that have actual sugar in them.
Yeah, because they suffice. The good sugars, I don't even know if I want to say that. The natural, from earth sugars are so much better.
So much better. Because everything with refined is just so sweet. It's insane. And it actually, I personally feel like they have done that to us for it to be an addicting factor.
100%. Because big food, big pharma, they're all together. They're trying to just... Don't let them do this to us.
Yes.
Guys.
It's not great. So what does refined sugar, what does it do? Why is it not good? It causes weight gain. That's the very tippy one.
That's the biggest one.
The body stores sugar as fat, and eating too many calories from sugar can lead to overeating.
And more fat.
What did I just talk about? The addiction part. Like it's literally truly designed.
Yep.
to make you think, to psych you out and think that you're not full.
Mm-hmm. And you need more and more and more,
and more.
And that was so yummy. Let me have more.
Yes. What happens when you eat like a spoonful of peanut butter that doesn't have any junk in it compared to eating like a bag of chips or something like that? Like the amount of fullness you feel is huge whenever you've got this big bag of chips and this one spoonful of natural peanut butter. You can't even finish the spoonful of peanut butter.
Oh no, it's very filling. And that's the thing too. Make sure like when you're eating natural things, you do get full faster. And that is that just more natural things.
More natural. That would be, if you're trying to be clean and you're trying to abstain, I would definitely highly recommend. You will get a lot of benefits and see a lot of benefits in your health from just cutting out sugar. It's insane. That's coming from a personal.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, let's say you're addicted to sugar, right? Like most people are actually, without even realizing it. Yeah. Guys, there's some delicious fruits. Like grapes are so sweet. So if you have a crazy sweet tooth, get grapes. Get the berries that are in season. Make sure you're getting organic. And they are sweet. Bananas are sweet. Like they taste great. So even if it's not hitting the spot at the beginning, keep eating it. And I promise you, it will hit your taste buds in a different kind of way. And you'll be like, wow, why did I even like this? It's so sweet. This cake is too much sweet now because
it really,
my grapes are all I need, or, whatever. So.
Yeah. And so the next thing in that is type 2 diabetes are becoming a thing where it's not even like a genetic thing anymore. It's literally people are getting diagnosed with type 2 diabetes from the excessive amount of sugar and what it's doing to our bloodstream.
Diet.
It is not cool and it's not fun. It's very sad. Heart disease comes from too much refined sugar. Excess sugar in your blood can damage cells and tissues, especially blood vessels. Like that's highly important with holistic function with your body. This damage can lead to plaque buildup.
Well, it's a plague in the body.
It really is. I was like, what? It's a plague? Plaque buildup and increase your risk of a heart attack and stroke. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
That is right. I learned about that.
Sugar. And what's the number one killer in America? Heart disease.
The plaque thing is a thing because I always think that it's teeth related. But it's actually with the heart stuff too.
Yeah.
That is so interesting. And whenever you have, which the next thing is, it causes cavities. That is hilarious. Not hilarious. Oh, that's not funny. I'm sorry. I came from a massive teeth issues this summer.
She's dealt with this herself,
and,
so
when it's awful, you kind of like laugh about it at the end. So that's why I say it's hilarious.
That's all you can do.
Because literally all of these issues I was having and a lot of the things that were happening to me, I was having a lot of heart palpitations when all of that massive infection was in my mouth. And it was scaring me because I was like, I come from a family of heart disease.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my heart. Like something's going on. And it's like, I haven't had those issues since we got rid of all the infection in my mouth.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is crazy. Yeah, because that bacteria in your mouth from the sugar, it starts eating away at your in the cavities and
the enamel.
It gets beat down.
Mood swings and irritability.
Who would have thought?
That's interesting, and it's accurate.
Parents, when you're like, well, my kids have sugar, they're crazy. Well, yeah.
Oh, that's mainly for kids, I would say, because the kids don't really, I feel like it gets through a lot of levels for adults to get to the point where it affects their mood. But with kids,
their little bodies just can't take it.
No, it's like too much. That should give you a little bit of a heads up. Like
literally.
This is not good.
Oh my gosh.
Acne.
Oh yeah. If you're having acne issues, look at what you're eating. Too much refined sugars. That was my case when I was younger, and I thought I just had weird skin issues that I took a lot of like creams for, which was dumb because it was a gut issue. I was eating all refined sugars. Oh, inflammation. Inflammation all throughout the body. It's real bad, which leads to there's some liver damage that can happen from eating too much refined sugar, poor sleep, which you never would have thought, and premature aging, which, why is there such an epidemic in Botox and lip fillers and facelifts and, right? Because we're eating refined sugars. And then when you look at, I think one of the ones for alcohol was premature aging, as well as when we're going into tobacco too. That's crazy, right?
It's all connected.
It is, and
So tobacco is another thing.
And we can go through this a little quicker, which, tobacco, obviously you always hear, there's even a warning label on it that it can cause cancer.
It's the first thing.
Literally says it on there, along with, the chewing tobacco, the cigarettes, all things have tobacco in it. Heart disease. Every single one of these. Heart disease.
It's like, da-da-da. Like, hello, people. Lung
it's crazy.
disease is a big one.
Yeah, makes sense. And then who would have thought diabetes?
Lots of people. I will say it is connected. A lot of people I know that struggle with smoking and stuff normally end up having diabetes or already had it.
Wow.
It's interesting.
It really is.
That's a big
reproductive health, because tobacco, it can harm the sperm, which may lead to infertility. Okay. So it can also make it more difficult to get pregnant. It can cause ectopic pregnancy, and can cause miscarriage, stillbirth, premature birth, low birth weight, and birth defects during pregnancy. Wowzers.
Yeah, because we're finding out that a lot of issues, or the determination of the pregnancy with the woman, is actually coming from the man.
Oh, a lot of it.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
I hate to put that on them, but it's just like, we do carry the child for 9 months, but it makes a lot of sense of why, like, this pregnancy, I actually have been a lot better at the first trimester, because he was so much healthier.
Wow. That's a really good point. I didn't even think of it that way, but
so
I think that's how God made it, right? Because he made it as the father is like the protector of the household. So why wouldn't the father's input before the baby, is born, and the conception and all that be a huge factor? The dad,
That's interesting, because they always like joking like our job was so easy. It's like, well, at the very beginning.
Man, back in the olden days, the women would get in trouble for stuff for the bed. I wanted a male.
Yes.
Well, I wanted, and you're like,
dad determines the sex of the baby. Like, it's a scientific thing.
If only the kings back then knew that and being all rude to their wives. I want a son. Anyways, this is weird. So tobacco.
What?
I don't know. I just feel like I went on this weird rabbit trail of like medieval children. You shall have a son. Like, what is this?
It affects your
tobacco is so bad. Yeah. Yes. Because it messes with your immune system, Hannah. Not yours. You don't do that.
Wait, I didn't think that. That's
weird. Yeah. All this stuff. It's like, guys, it's real.
Oh, man.
This too, eye disease. Okay, get this. Tobacco can increase the risk of cataracts and age-related macular degeneration, which can lead to blindness.
If you do notice people who do a lot of tobacco anything, their eyes do start getting kind of yellow.
Yeah, and like their eyes, like no pun intended, they look smoky.
Yeah, I was going to say very cloudy.
Yeah, that's a better way, but...
Yeah, smoky is way cooler.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Here we go again with the mental and emotional health. Yeah. Yikes.
Can increase stress and anxiety.
I think anything that becomes an addiction of some kind, where you are in a place where you can't not have it, it's going to affect it affects your mental health.
100%.
I would say so, because anyone we know that literally, they will say cutting tobacco is probably, if they do that, it's the it's one of the hardest things.
Yes, yes. And it's crazy. Well, sense of smell and taste. That does make sense, but I wouldn't have thought that.
No.
And then even the skin. So tobacco can create premature aging. Mm-hmm. Wow. Teeth and gums. Tobacco can increase the risk of gum disease, tooth loss. Bones. It can lower bone density. Okay. Which means a higher risk of broken bones. Like I was saying, elderly people, when they fall and break their hip really easy, it seems like, wow, how did that happen? That when you get older, your bone density does decrease. So if you were doing things to help with your bone density now, when we're younger, and when, it helps so much when we're older. What did Barbara say? She said what you do in your 20s affects your 40s. What you do in your 30s affects your 50s, and so on and so forth.
Oh, no kidding.
In this lifespan, tobacco can cut at least 10 years off your expected lifespan.
Yikes.
Oh, that makes me sad.
That just makes me, every time I look at tobacco now, I'm like, you.
Nasty little killer.
Nasty.
Nasty little killer.
Okay, this is more of a, this would be something that we feel like is a pretty, a good thing that people would think, why would I?
Yeah. Because we're thinking like this physical stuff, that can hurt you. But there's so many more things. Just negativity. Abstaining from negativity. Because when you think about it, I was actually looking at the study, which I'll read, but as humans, we like tend to focus more on negativity. Like our glass is half empty before it's half full. And I think, we can blame it on the things that we see going around us, but honestly, that's up to us to choose to wake up with a positive or a negative mindset.
Exactly.
And so as humans, we tend to remember traumatic experiences better than positive ones.
Yeah.
That's why so many people talk about their trauma more than, man, I just had such a good, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Because it just rings so much louder in your mind, and they can recall insults better than praise.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I used to always tell Aubrey, because we would like mess with each other, and he would say something. I was like, well, now you have to say 10 nice things, because that one nice thing is just clouding all that I think you think of me. And he's like, what? I was like, now I can tell him it's science.
I was about to say, this seems like a very marriage thing.
I'm going to read this to Aubrey. I'm just kidding. He's so funny. Okay.
No, that's a thing.
And as humans, we tend to react more strongly to negative stimuli. We just do.
What is that?
Like in an argument, right? Instead of listening to what someone's saying, you find the little things. You're like, so are you saying I'm fat?
Okay.
You're like, no, I just told you should probably chew a little bit more because you chewed. You're calling me fat. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. Oh, me, I thought I'd go through that for sure.
I didn't know this was marriage counseling.
Oh my gosh. That's one thing that recently, it's so funny. The more you heal, the more things come up where you're like, I was always very quiet and didn't really say how I felt about stuff. And so now recently, I've been like kind of just saying exactly how I feel about stuff sometimes. And that hasn't been able to he hasn't taken it great. Like he will think that I'm actually like legit insulting him. And he's like, so are you saying that I'm not good at it? I'm like, no, I literally just said, can you please clean this up? Like it's so interesting. And it's because I'm like, okay, I think maybe you need to realize that this is not something that I think negatively about you. It's just in the moment.
Yeah.
Can you clean up your thoughts?
But that is that negative stimuli. We tend to naturally go towards that. And it's crazy. But I mean, it makes sense when you think about like human interaction and stuff. And then we respond more strongly to negative events than to equally positive ones.
Why are we like this?
News Channel 9. You know what I mean? I don't even know News Channel 9. I'm sorry. Maybe News Channel 9 is great. I don't even know who you are. But CNN.
Abstain from the news, everyone.
Honestly, you might need to.
Just pray about the things you need to be aware of. Have God tell you.
Literally. And this kind of, I think this connects so well with even what we talked about in trusting God. Because then we talk about, a huge thing Barbara talked about was rewiring our brain. You know that you can, right? So we tend to be more negative, right? That doesn't mean we have to stay there. We can rewire our brains. That's what's so amazing. Because we talked about all of our organs are regenerated. We can heal, right? Yeah. Why can't we rewire our brains even though we tend to go negative most of the time? So certain ways that you can rewire your brain is you can just stop negative self-talk. Start with that first, because most of the time we are so rude to ourselves.
I am.
Like we love the show The Office. Okay. So something in The Office, there's this character Andy, and Jim is another character, and Jim's like, I'm so stupid. And Andy's like, don't be rude to my friend Jim. So like literally Aubrey has started saying that if I'm like, I don't know, look at my face. I don't know. I'm just thinking of stuff. I don't even know what I actually say. But I'm hating on something about myself. And Aubrey's like, don't talk about my friend Jordan like that.
Oh, that's
and then I'll be like, shut up. You know what I mean? No, it's really sweet. But stop the negative self-talk. I think that's a huge first step to start rewiring your brain.
Yes, that's really good because it can happen. You have new cells like generating every
exactly.
day.
And the words that we speak.
Yeah.
Have power. We talked about that.
Power of the tongue.
And reframing our situation. So looking at it from a different angle. Instead of our cup being half empty, you know what? What if it's half full?
Yeah.
What if it is? Then it is.
Or walk away from a situation that you think like that obviously overwhelms you a lot and be like, I'm just not going to put myself in that situation
Exactly.
anymore.
Yep. Those like different levels. What did you call it instead of boundaries? What did you say?
Levels of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just choose. You're like, listen, I know what's best for my situation.
Isn't that interesting? Right now. Isn't that interesting when someone said like the boundaries thing is not biblical? Whenever you look at the Bible, it actually really isn't.
I haven't looked at it through that lens.
But it's interesting because once he said that, it kind of like stuck with me. I'm like,
and when you first said that, I was like, what? And then I had to like process it. You know what I mean?
I know it's weird because I've been processing it for a year because he told me that a year ago.
Yeah.
And I still say boundaries. He's like, no, it's just levels of forgiveness. I'm like, huh.
But that's like makes it so much deeper than just I draw a line.
Yeah, it makes it sound way less like you're dead to me. Because that's
Don't
not
cross this line. I hate you.
Because when I think of boundary line, I think of like a war of like, do not cross.
Yes. Right? Okay, well this goes with it too, because the next one is establishing new patterns. Oh. That's exactly what these levels of forgiveness are.
I have no
because
idea.
You're establishing new patterns that you're going into. And I love that. I feel like this is all really well connected, because then you can choose to savor those positive moments.
Yeah.
Savor like a yummy, sweet treat that you can no longer have. I'm just kidding.
Well, you can. Just after you spend 21 days rewiring your brain. Which,
that's right. We will do that.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh, the big one. We love this.
Oh, the misconceptions. Those are so fun.
I'm going to get y'all. I'm just kidding.
Here we go, Jordan. Get after them.
Splenda or sugar-free is better for you than refined sugar. No. Don't do that. Aspartame, all of that. Please just steer away from sugar-free, because honestly, like, it is actually worse.
Eating a spoonful of real sugar is better than that.
Yeah. Like,
hate to bust your bubble, but
yeah, don't go sugar-free, guys. Just
that is one thing.
Abstain.
Yeah. Or just don't eat it at all. Like, just, I mean, I know it's hard, because I mean, when you are used to eating things that are sweet, it's hard to not want it.
So don't move from a Coca-Cola to a Diet Coke. Just
don't.
Refrain. Abstain. I got so upset about it. I lost my words.
If you are having a hard time not like needing a soda of some kind, Zavia sodas, are nice. Or Olipop's. Those are a probiotic soda, and so they actually help your gut. They have no sugar in them, and they're sweetened with like monk fruit or stevia.
Yes.
Which is an actual like plant.
Yeah.
It's not a chemical that frames your blood cells and stuff and causes all kinds of other things. Like, just research aspartame and sucralose and see what you come up with. And
now you know my heart rate started pumping whenever.
Yeah, it actually makes things a little bit worse, and it also dehydrates you.
It does. It does all the bad things plus
Not
a little bit
good.
more.
Yes.
Honestly.
So yes.
Oh, this one, Hannah.
YOLO. You only live once.
Why abstain? Live it up. Okay, if you only want to live once for a short amount of time. No.
False. It's great as far as the whole YOLO thing, like you only live once, should be for a situation of like, I don't know, positive thinking. You know what I mean? Not with your health. Like,
let your life matter by living healthy, living long, living fulfilling life.
Yeah, YOLO should be like for a situation where like, well, sorry, that was a lot of likes. You have an off day, like somehow it's just weird from work, and you're like, instead of going home and just trying to find other work to do, go to the skating ring or like take your kids. Like that should be a YOLO.
Zoo,
yeah,
you know?
That should be considered a YOLO.
Yeah, as far as we're concerned, it's holistic.
Yes, something for your that. Not when it comes to, I'm going to eat this whole bag of chips, the whole bag of Cheetos, even though I have diabetes, and it's fine.
YOLO.
No, you're killing yourself. Don't do that.
Oh, no. I don't know if people even say that anymore.
Okay,
yes. And, when we talk about abstaining, working towards abstaining, okay, not going completely cold turkey, because that's when you get those killer headaches. That's when you start dealing, but there are some things, like I would pray about it and get, confirmation, and like that discernment on how to do it, because with smoking and stuff, maybe it is best for you to just stop completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certain things like that. Just have that discernment on what will work best for you, what you're abstaining from first and foremost, how intense it's going to be for you to let go of, and then kind of how this journey can look for you. So sometimes it is great to go cold turkey, certain people, but for some, with coffee drinking, if you're at 3 cups, drop it to 2, then drop it to 1, because your headaches get way less.
Yes, yeah. And also don't do multiple things at once.
Oh, yeah, that will try to ruin your life.
Yeah, and then you'll hate your life. And that doesn't make any sense, because as soon as you get back into whatever you're doing, you will overindulge. Mm-hmm. And that's way worse than just weaning yourself off of something.
Yes.
Way worse.
I'm telling you.
Okay, we're going to apply the A's. This is everyone's favorite part. We need to have like a jingle of apply the A's or something.
Okay, we're applying the A's.
We're doing it right now.
Well, I don't know. Maybe no.
What's attainable?
And what's affordable?
What's the last one? And achievable.
We're making it. No, I don't know. That was
wow,
bad.
that was so bad. You guys let us know that was bad.
We're
No,
abstaining from that. Can I?
Every time we say apply the A's, I'm like, what's attainable? Like, I always want to say that.
And affordable. Oh, a lower and then.
Lots better. Very 80s vibe. Da 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 da. Okay, we'll stop being weird.
Yeah.
How can we make abstaining attainable, guys?
Mm-hmm. What we just talked about, literally lowering the intake every day instead of cold turkey for some, because withdrawal will be a lot less painful.
A lot less.
So that's one way to make it attainable, which is capable of being done or carried out, by the way.
Yes.
This. Speaking positive things over yourself in the mornings and in the evenings. That can make it attainable to be less negative.
When you wake up with the sun, like we've talked about.
That's right.
It's been a little hard recently with all this winter.
Yeah.
And then going to sleep, going to bed after the sun, like just that would probably be a good time to be speaking positive.
Yes. That's a very good idea, because when you think about it, God created the sun. The sun's beautiful. You know what? He created us too. We're
yes.
beautiful. I am beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. Go into that. Have a little moment with yourself. I think this one's really good too, because who are you hanging out with? Okay, if you're trying to abstain from something, let's say drinking, and you have someone who is like, hey, let's have another. Let's go party.
Maybe limit your time with that person.
Abstain.
Yeah.
It will help them in the long run, maybe, if you even explain why.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll make them start thinking, want to get better too.
Yeah, maybe they might want to abstain with you.
Exactly. And even having accountability partners, someone that will help you.
Yeah.
So steering clear of the people that are going to pull you down, but leaning towards the people that will help pull you up.
Yes.
And can keep you accountable.
Very good.
Which we have that.
Yeah, we do. It's
in
nice.
each other. Okay. Affordable.
How do we make abstaining affordable?
Well, it'll actually save you money.
It actually
We're
will.
making money.
You actually will make money from this one because you're not spending it on alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
It's expensive.
Tobacco.
It's expensive.
It's so expensive.
Sugar. Everything with sugar in it. I mean, you're just going to stop buying stuff with sugar. So you're not really going to be buying a whole lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is...
And look what I put. It'll enrich your life.
Welcome. I love how we say things at the same time. It's great. It's so good.
Oh, gosh. Okay. So it's definitely affordable. Achievable. Able to be brought up. Nope. Able to be brought about or reached successfully. We're getting a little silly.
We are. Okay. Give yourself a 1 week goal and abstain fully by 1 week. Try to that first week, just knock it out and try to be really, really strong. Persevere. Write down kind of an abstain plan.
Yes.
There is a 3-3-3 rule. 3-3-3. Did I say that right?
3-3-3.
So 3 days is going to be, everybody says this when you do any kind of diet, any kind of fasting of anything. What does everyone say? The first 3 days are the hardest.
Yep.
When you're recovering from
especially
surgery.
if you're going to get some of those headaches.
Make it the first 3 days. The first 3 days, you have started a new pattern, okay? And then you get to 3 weeks, and you have now rewired your brain to be like, oh, okay, make it to the 3 weeks so that you can start the rewriting of the brain. And try to get to 3 months where you have completely created a new pattern and a new habit, and your brain has rewritten into a completely new pattern.
Exactly. I think if people realize that, there would be less just New Year's resolutions that are shut down by the end of January.
Oh, yes.
Because we have to just realize how our brain works. So if you chug through this, and if you just keep going and you keep abstaining, it will be so much easier once your brain gets rewired.
I watched this amazing reel from Tom Holland. Is that his name?
Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of how he, it was a really cool reel. I don't know how I stumbled on it, but he was talking about how he realized he wanted to just try. Someone told him he should do the dry January.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And he was like, okay, whatever. I don't think I have a drinking problem. Well, he tried the dry January. This was last year. And he said he struggled really bad. He hated it. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to go dry February and see if I feel better. He did it dry February. still, he's like, he was a little bit better, but he really struggled. And he's like, man, am I an alcoholic? Because I'm like really struggling with not wanting to have a drink. And then he's like, I'm going to do March. I'm going to do dry March. So he tried dry March, and by the 3 months, he's like, I actually started noticing I was sleeping better.
Wow.
My mood was better. I wasn't like flying off the handle. I wasn't like as anxious as I normally am. Didn't even realize I had an anxiety problem.
Wow.
He said, then I was like, you know what? I really like how I feel right now at the 3-month mark. Then he's like, I'll do dry April. So he did all of April. Started getting into a pattern where it became very easy to like be slow to anger. He slept so good. He was just in a very healthy routine. And he's like, it just became better each month that he just decided I'm not going to drink for a whole month. He said by the time he got to the 6 months, he was like, I'm never having a drink again.
Wow.
Crazy. But to see how like the 3, he even said it without
saying, wow.
Yeah. He's like, the first 2 months were really rough. But once he got to the 3 months, he was like, I noticed a pattern of like, oh, I actually feel better.
Wow.
Like he's like, I didn't realize how much a drink every night affected me, because he was kind of getting scared. He's like, am I an alcoholic?
Yeah.
Do I rely on alcohol so much?
Wow.
So anyway, I thought I would share that. I forgot about that when we were doing the 333. I'm like, oh, that is like exactly what I watched the other day.
Wow. Be like Spider-Man. That's so cool.
Is that his name, Tom Holland? Did I get that right?
Tom Holland, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
there's a lot of Tom.
Wow. So many Toms, especially in the Marvel universe.
But I thought that was cool. If you relate to Spider-Man at all, like that, I mean, even if he can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
100%. I love that. Wow.
Yeah. You can have it's what is it? Achievable if you have support and accountability.
I think that's huge, actually.
It is.
I don't know. I just feel like you need that. We need that for healing in every single avenue, but especially if we're abstaining from something, we need that person that's like, you know what, you can keep going. I know it's so hard right now. So find that person when you're about to give in and, you know, have a drink or have a smoke. Have someone to call and talk to.
Yeah.
Have them kind of talk you off that ledge, you know?
Yeah, or have something else to go to. To replace that time that you normally take that drink, or you normally smoke, or you normally eat that piece of cake. Be like, hey, do you want to go to the movies, or do you want to go take a walk around the park? Like, I remember when we first started the Sustain Me protocol after we got back from the retreat, we were accountability families. Like, we kind of did it together.
Yes, yeah.
And that was awesome, honestly. Like, our husbands kind of...
really cool.
Aubrey definitely complained about it, but it was cool because we were all doing it together, you know? And it was obvious that things just... worked better. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Like, it's almost like it felt fresher. Yeah. Life felt fresher.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Because we would Marco Polo each other and be like, I forgot to do this, but I'm going to do that. But it's funny because when one person's like, I did my walk today, or I got up this morning and I did my HIIT exercise, and we only, and the main thing that was kind of hard to do with the family is eating the way, which we'll get into that with the nutrition stuff. Yeah. Ooh, I won't go fully into that, but FYI, how we're eating is all wrong, by the way.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
Yeah, but the amounts and the timing. Anyway, when we were doing a lot of that, it was very nice to have that accountability community. So find that. It's a lot easier. Do it with your spouse. Do it with your kid. Definitely. Do it with your friend. It's easier.
It is. It really is, because one is the loneliest number.
So I guess that kind of like, that's the challenge of the week.
Literally, yeah.
That's literally everything we just talked about is your challenge. So find that thing that you are trying to abstain from that would be beneficial to your life, that you know is an issue. Don't beat yourself up about it. That's first thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Just get into a mindset of positive thinking.
That's right. Stay positive.
Like, I would like to be more cognitive. I would like to have a better mood. Like, what is affecting that? Maybe I'm eating too much sugar.
Yep.
And that is that. And start the process. And find the community. Try to do the 3-3-3 rule. That's a very helpful.
Definitely.
I love graphs. I love patterns. I love rules.
Yep. It makes it easier to follow.
I love that. So if you're a pattern person, go with that. And find your people.
Sorry, we did a weird... If you're just listening, we kind of hugged. It's fine.
Yeah, we kind of hugged. We're in such an awkward place where we can't really, like, I can't move, but she can move better. Yes, just hugging.
Oh my gosh, we're having so much fun with you guys. So please reach out to us. Any questions at all whatsoever. If you need accountability, let us know what you're abstaining from.
Yeah.
And man, we've just loved this journey.
We have, and the time has gone by so fast. We have been asked to make these episodes a little bit longer, and we kind of did that on accident. But we knew that we had a lot to cover in this, and this is just kind of this is a bigger episode where I didn't think that it needed to have 2 parts, but it's a lot because you don't realize how many things we have to abstain from, and also just to explain it to you guys in a way where we're not bashing anyone up in the head like, you need to stop this. It's more of like, this is a process to help your holistic health altogether, that we are just not informed at all whatsoever. And this is no judgment. This is let's have a better future here.
Exactly. Let's do this together.
Yes.
So we're leaving on a positive note. You can do it.
You got this. And we can't wait to hear, because a week, just doing stuff in a week, like we said, that's a pretty
you've passed the first 3.
So we'd love to hear from all of y'all, something that you've probably already decided to abstain from, and let's talk about it in the next episode.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
Yes, that would be fun.
Yeah, we'll go right into N for nutrition. It would be perfect to go into that.
Ooh. Wait, sorry,
never mind.
Ooh, this is a good one. Sorry.
I forgot. Sorry,
because
dyslexia. Dyslexia is kicking in a little bit for me.
But N is coming.
I skipped N.
After the I.
Oh yeah, this one's actually very important.
Inhale. Anyways.
All right, talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.